First of all, how does it feel to get into MAC play after low these many weeks and so forth?
I mean, it's the best time of the year. Conference play, besides March Madness, obviously. Everybody loves watching conference games, playing in conference games. There's more just intensity around those types of games. It's around the same level of players throughout the 5 starters, people off the bench. So it's a lot of fun playing conference.
Scored a lot of points today, but the defense looked compared to the beginning of the year, pretty good as well. Do you feel like the defense has improved over the course of the past several months?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we emphasize it every day. We try to be more of a defensive team because we know we got a bunch of dudes who can shoot the ball, make plays off the ball. So our offense isn't really our problem, but sometimes we go through lapses in defense where guys get tired, get lazy, don't always contest shots, and it's just if we fix those things, we'll be really hard to beat.
Had up to, I think, about a 20-point lead there in the second half, and yada, 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 they got it down to like 10 points with the press. How did you feel about the team's ability to work against that press?
At times we're good, at times we're bad. I mean, I had some turnovers during that press, some lapses. Some other people did as well, but we just got to handle those, and we'll be better in the future.
For yourself, how comfortable are you handling the ball, under a press situation?
I'm very comfortable being up there with Evan, Makai, Cam, whoever it is. I think once we get on the same page of how to break it, we'll be good.
And just out of curiosity, toward the end of the first half, you had a save at one end and saved it to the other team.
Yeah.
And I kind of sensed that you, felt that, and you hustled down to the other end of the court and end up getting a shot yourself with 2 free throws. You kind of got those 2 points back. Were you thinking along those lines of doing something to make amends or whatever?
Kind of. I mean, it's always tough when you're trying to save it to your teammates when it's around your own basket because things like that can happen. But, yeah, when Antoine inbounded the ball to me, and there's 5 or 6 seconds on the clock, the only thing I was thinking about, going to the rim. If somebody helps, then I'll spray it out to Cam or whoever it is for the shooters. But, yeah, after I gave up that 2, I felt like I kind of needed to get that back too.
How's it feel to have this kind of firepower starting into the season? 94 points, that's a pretty good start.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, our offense is great. We move the ball well. We got a bunch of dudes who can shoot the ball, play make. But like I said, once we figure out the defensive end, play a full 40 minutes, we'll be really hard to beat in this conference.
Pete, you looked a lot more, I just say comfortable out there, obviously first conference game. How do you feel you've progressed since the start of the year?
I think I've made a lot of jumps. I mean, I think I got better ball handling, making decisions, shooting, in pretty much all aspects of the game. But every day we work at it with our coaches, players. Everybody makes improvements and just gets better.
One of your teammates, Brant Byers, set a career high with 6 threes. He actually went perfect from the field. How easy is it as a teammate, when you have somebody that can just shoot at that clip?
I mean, it makes it easier on my job, of course. I mean, when I drive in the paint, somebody comes and helps, and he's right in the corner. I mean, it's almost going in every time when he's 6 for 6. But like I said, Brant's one heck of a shooter.
Yeah, obviously, he's a freshman. How have you seen him progress? Whether it's on and off the court this season.
His confidence is through the roof. I think that's the biggest part in practice. He doesn't pass up any open shots. He knows he's a good shooter, and that's what he does. But when he rebounds with us too and plays defense, blocks shots, get tips, that's when he's really effective as well on the defensive end.
I thought, league play, I told the guys, listen, everybody going into these games here at the beginning of league play, everybody's 0-0. Everybody's got hope. I don't care what your non-conference record is. You can throw that out the window. Doesn't really matter. I thought we've had great practices. I keep on saying it. It's all about our preparation. That's where we create our separation. And I thought just our leadership we're getting from Peter, from Dan Lewis, from Evan Ipsaro, the guys that were voted as captains, just being having the consistent approach every single day, man, it's making all the difference for us. I think we're making big jumps due to that. But you can't get too high or too low in this league, or else you'll get humbled very, very quickly. So we're going to move on, obviously, very quickly to Ball State. But, tonight, man, today, I thought our ball really moved. Obviously, we had 20 assists, 7 turnovers, which is tremendous. Made 17 threes. I always say good shooting teams are good passing teams. I'm sure people are tired of hearing me say that, but that's really the truth. And when our ball moves, we're really hard to guard. I thought we got a little bit stagnant late in the game. That's on me. I think our guys are trying to milk the clock a little bit too much. We were standing around. I thought our defense was okay. We can be better, to be quite frank. And that's where I'm encouraging our guys, because that's the one thing that's going to win in this league is, listen, no matter how, there's going to be nights where don't shoot well. How are you going to win those games? You got to take care of the ball. You have to rebound the ball, and then you have to defend. And tonight, I believe we won the glass 39-33, which was great. That's been a big, huge point of emphasis for our group this year, especially with our last 2 years, what we've done on the glass. We're doing a really nice job on the glass right now. So, and that's got to continue. But again, we got to have short-term memory. Learn from this game. We'll show film tomorrow. It's a very quick turnaround to go to Ball State on Tuesday night, and we got to make sure that they get our best effort.
Coach, tell us about that first half. It was close pretty much throughout. You got a little bit of breathing room there at the very end, but most of the time it was within a few points going both ways, and it wasn't like each team was tense or whatever. There was scoring going on. So how'd you feel about the first half?
Yeah. I told George just before the game, he's their head coach there, obviously at Buffalo. I said, man, I really enjoyed watching his team play on film. They're way better than they were last year. They're young, a little bit like we're young. But I told our guys, I was like, hey, listen, this is going to be – they want it to be like tennis. We hit the ball, they hit the ball. We hit the ball, they hit the ball. Great teams. We're going to spike that thing and not let them hit the ball back. We're going to get stops. I want to be the ones that are the aggressor. Like, we were scoring, but it's like, how do we got to defend better. Our communication's got to be better in ball screen defense. Got to know where Ryan Sable is, right? He's got in the gym range, right? Like, when he walks on the floor, he's in range. And I thought we did a better job in the second half than we did the first half. He got loose for about 3 of those in the first half. But again, we got a lot of depth. That's the thing about our group is we can play really, really fast. I love our pace of play, and we're just going to wear teams down. I mean, when you like tonight, Brant was terrific, right? Brant had, I think, 6 for 6 from 3. Reese Potter had, I think, 7 or 8 rebounds, 7 rebounds. Luke didn't have his best night. He'll probably score double figures next game. We got so many different guys that can do it. We got to use that to our advantage and just kind of wear teams down throughout the game for 40 minutes.
Were there any adjustments or any particular things you think that led to you building up roughly 20-point lead in the second half?
Yeah, I thought they were switching a lot of our stuff, 1 through 5. Right? I thought we got off to a good start scoring, and then they started switching, and I thought we got a little bit stagnant in the first half. I thought our switch solutions is what we call them in the second half was much better. We created a lot more confusion for them to be able to switch, what created some open threes, right? Then I thought our defense during that stretch there at the beginning of the second half, that first 8-10 minutes, man, we were clearly the harder playing team. I thought they were the harder playing team in the first half. I really did. They were getting all the loose balls. And then second half, that flipped. I thought we did a really nice job in that area, especially during that middle, that beginning of the second half, the first 10 minutes of the second half, we were really good in that area.
How did you feel about the press that they knocked it down from 20 to, I think, maybe 10 at one point in time? So,
yeah, I thought we handled the press actually fine. Well, Peter had 1 turnover versus the press. We just got stagnant. I think our guys were trying to get that shot clock down. Trying to play against the time because they started pressing at the under 8. I think minute mark is kind of when they started pressing, picking up because they were down by 20. I think it was 76-56 at that time. And give them credit. They played hard, but I thought we just got a little too stagnant. We're ISO ball a little bit too much. We should have stayed in our offense, fixed the floor a little better, get movement, cut. That's when we're at our best. We're not an ISO team.
Once they got it down to 10 or 11 in that second half, you had a few big baskets there. Yeah. You had Wolfel, 4 fouls on him. He gets a quadruple putback or whatever and puts one in. Really worked against some heavy-duty defense, and Kraft hit a couple big threes as well.
Listen, it's funny. I told our staff afterwards, that's like a layup for Cam. You can say I was a little somewhat early in the shot. I could care less. He's got the ultimate neon green light for us, and he's earned that every day. So he hit a couple big ones. Cooper hit a big one, top of the key, banked in 3 as well during those moments. Because I think it's hard because those into the game, 7 minutes to go, you can't lose your aggressiveness, but you also got to be smart. right? You want to kind of find that little happy medium. I just thought we were a little bit too passive during those moments.
You had a lot of guys at double figures. One of them was Brant Byers. A lot of he had it going today.
Yeah, he's an elite shot maker. He gives us, and not only does he when he makes threes, he has a huge impact. Him just being on the floor creates so much space for everybody, right? When you got a guy that shoots it like that and has a quick trigger, and he's 6'7", 6'8", man, it just creates so much floor for all of our playmakers. So I thought Brant came up with a huge loose ball too there in the second half, which was nice to see, because he can impact the game in a lot of different ways.
Staying on that point, I know obviously Brent's really young. You've talked about your belief in him throughout the season. Even early on when some shots may not have been falling on the same consistent basis as they are now. How have you seen his confidence progress throughout the year?
Yeah, I think it's how I've told him, man. You got to have true confidence. You got to be mentally tough. There's going to be moments where you don't shoot as well, but you can't flinch. You can't second guess. You can't play that way. The game's all about quick decisions, and Brant's earned his confidence through his work. He's in the gym all the time, getting extra shots up. He sticks to the process, whether good or bad, whether he's shooting really well or shooting really bad. He's the same guy every day, and I think that's such a great trait to have: consistency, dependability. Brant does those things, and it allows him to be able to make shots like he has. It's like I said early on in the year, because he didn't shoot it as well early. I was like, the water will find its level. Brant is an elite shot maker, elite.
From the top of my head, this is the third time this season that you guys have shot over 50% from beyond the arc. Obviously I know you have elite confidence in that shot, but what has worked so well over the past month? It just really seems like that percentage has increased.
Yeah, our ball movement. I mean, I again, like, our guys make the right plays. They share the ball. Man, it's a fun way to play. It is a fun way to play. You could tell when a team's not connected and when a team's connected. Our group's connected. And it starts off the court. It starts with our leaders, the Peter Suitors, the Dan Lures, the Evan Ipsaros, the guys who are voted captains by their teammates. They play the right way, man. They're just unselfish. It makes it fun to coach for me. It makes it easy.
What was your main message coming out of halftime? It really seemed like the guys had some energy. Obviously you had a lead, but it's one of those where you want to, not just keep the lead, but, keep it. Yeah. Increase the lead.
I just thought I thought Buffalo played harder in the first half. I really did. Not that we didn't play hard, but man, we just, some of the loose balls, I felt like they were all going Buffalo's way. And I thought our guys made the adjustment. We talked about it at halftime. They knew it. I knew it. Everybody knew it in the arena. And bam, we played extremely hard. I thought Antoine, his energy level in that second half, man, when he plays like that, he's as good as, there's not a better big in our league. All right, I mean, he almost had a double-double. And just his block shot that he had at the rim, I mean, he's a man-child. So, and not just him. I mean, Pete, all those guys, Cameron, Pete, Coop, Evan, man, we have guys that play hard in general, same guys every single day. But you got, in league play, it ratchets it up just a little bit. It just does. And I thought second half we made a good adjustment in that area.
One of the first things you talked about this year with this group is to be able to get up and down the court. Have a pretty good fast pace to it. It's not the only thing, but you outscored them 17-8 on fast breaks. Yep. And there were other things. How do you feel about your mission to, get up and down the court quickly?
It's funny. We always self-reflect, right? After every game, and you look at all the analytical data and obviously the stat sheet too. And man, after Vermont, I just said, man, what the heck are we doing? We're playing way too slow. And that Vermont game was on me. I should have pressed the whole game. And Vermont's well coached. Coach Becker does a great job, but they play like they watch that paint dry on the wall. I mean, it's that slow. And we played their game for, 32 minutes. I'm an idiot. In the last 8 minutes, we played our game. And guess what? We came storming back. And I said right from that moment right there, I said, fellas, we got to get our pace back. We have incredible depth. What are we doing? Give me variety, play fast, play downhill. It's the best time to attack. And I think since then, whether it's in practice, games, and our pace has been elite. And we're really hard to guard when we play like that. And I don't care whether we have missed shots or anything. We're going to keep firing away. And we're going to keep shooting it. We want as many possessions in the game as possible.
Peter Suiter led the team, actually led all players with 10 rebounds. in other categories as well. You know, what is it like to have that type of calming presence, and then also just that versatility?
Yeah, he's a Swiss Army knife. I've told him that several times, and he just does everything. I mean, he handles it like a point guard. He can score it. He can post you. He can rebound it. He defends. I mean, I told the staff coming off the floor after halftime when he saved that loose ball and they ended up getting a layup on it. I was like, man, what a play, though. I mean, like, honestly, he went full body, laid out for that ball. It's just Peter. And then he gets up, and then he sprints the floor, gets an outlet from Antoine, and gets fouled. And he just knows one way to play, man. And again, it's why Peter's always won his entire life. I mean, he is a winner. He is a winner, man. And that permeates throughout the rest of the team. And his teammates know they respect him so much because of how hard he plays and what he's willing to do to sacrifice to be able to win the game. He's just so competitive.
Yeah, obviously one of your captains, like, how would you say, you've seen him influence, the culture, like you've pointed out, there's been multiple times this year where he's fallen down really hard, maybe taking a second to get up, but he gets up and he's still playing. How does that just permeate throughout the program?
I mean, it's hard. Like, if you're a younger guy and you're looking at Pete and voted as a captain, we know what he does every day in practice. But you see, he does it in practice. Peter plays ridiculously hard. All of our older guys do, and Dan Lewis does it. I know he didn't get in tonight, but he impacts our team every day. Just his effort, his competitiveness, his leadership, his voice. Evan Ipsaro. I mean, those guys. I think those three guys were voted as captains for a reason. I think just the respect factor of how hard they play and what they're willing to do in order to help our team win and sacrifice, man. And it just permeates throughout the rest of the organization. It starts with those three.